Hello. I went to sleep. I got really tired yesterday, and I don't even know what day it is. Anyway, I didn't do my vlog because I went to sleep. It's now the middle of the night, early morning. Kookaburras are. Can you hear them? Kookaburras. I don't know if you can hear them. So I went to see my new doctor yesterday, and I was really nervous about going to see him because it's really hard. Every time I go, I have to explain, blah, 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 blah. And I've met him, as I said, in my prior videos. But I'd read something on a curing cancer site about someone had written that they skip all doctors' diagnoses. And that gave me a lot of freedom. So I went to see my new doctor and I explained to him the whole thing about the potassium and how I explained to him that they came in and told me that I was at death levels of potassium and I could die at any moment of a heart attack. And that was while I was in hospital. Now, that same day I told him that I was in a pool of sweat and that I hadn't been able to sweat for ages. And that because I'd got off all their crappy drugs, not all their crappy drugs, but most their crappy drugs, I stayed on the good ones, and gone onto the cannabis, that I'd started sweating and pooing. Now, I explained to him yesterday that I'd found out, it had taken me that whole, since I've left hospital, I've had to fight in my head, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, or I could die, I could die. No, you're not. If you think that way, then you're going to die. Oh no, I'm already thinking that way, now I'm going to die. Changing that, like, because the doctors said so, because there's something that doctors know everything, but they don't. They're just humans like us that went to school. I mean, I went to university too. I dropped out, but I've been to university. I dropped out because I think it's shit. I'll go into that another day, but seriously, Chinese whispers. Anyway, so you go there and you listen. Anyway, so I went to him and I explained the thing about the sweating, and I asked why he never told me that potassium comes out in sweat, and that was a way. But I guess he couldn't because it was their drug stopping it happening. So I don't know, he didn't really answer, but I asked him not to because I just wanted to explain that it made it really hard for me and that they weren't working on board with me. So that all I really wanted him to do, he gave me a test for another blood test. I said, I don't want it. I'm not interested. The blood tests don't equate to what I'm doing, because I'm trying to do something that would change those blood tests with what I'm doing, so they don't work. They're wrong. I don't think they're right. I don't know, but, or if that, whatever. I should be dead. Well, I'm not dead. So, what's the point of them giving me another blood test that says I should be dead? I don't want to see it. Fuck off. What are you going to tell me any different from the last 6 years? I don't want to see it. So, take your tests and shove them up your bum. I didn't say that. He's a really nice doctor and he's really respectful, and I did say to him I really appreciate his respect, because I can't say that I've been as respectful as him, and not to anything he's done, just my frustration and pain through the times I have met him a few times before, but he wasn't my doctor. Apart from that, he does work at the hospital. So yeah, he's a nice man, and he seems, I'm terminally ill, so they can't refuse me really what I want. So I just put my order in and got it. And I'm not on very high doses, so they can't really say shit. And if they do, I'll take it further, because you're allowed when you're terminally ill. You're allowed to do anything when you're terminally ill. You can have all your wishes, as I said. So, but I intend on living terminally ill, because fuck it, I can now. And why should I ever get another test? Prove that I'm not where they say I am. Because not scientifically, but as far as your doctors believe, I can't fix myself. So I can't get better. So I don't know. I'll just hang around here being terminally ill because that makes me legal as far as cannabis is concerned, and that's my priority at the moment because I feel that it's important to my health and my life to be able to have my sacred herbs, and I want to fight. I want to fight with my life and my living life to legalise not just marijuana but opium as well, to be grown in our own gardens, because I don't want to have to going to a doctor. I don't know if you've seen the movie Pineapple Express, but if you ever buy weed and there's like a dealer that wants you to go chat with him for like a half hour or whatever, and you got to like hang out and be his friend so that you can get your drugs, it's really fucking annoying. Well, doctors aren't really anything more than drug dealers. That's all they are. They're drug dealers. They just have special badges from the government to make them look like they're someone special. But really, all the knowledge they have is about drugs. They don't know really about anything. And if you look it up, if you research whatever illness you've got, it'll tell you. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know how this drug works. They don't know why it works. They just know that it works because tests have shown that it works. And it's got all these side effects as well. The side effects are, I just found out, because the Stemetil I was on for anti-nausea, I didn't realise it was an antipsychotic. I've been having, my legs have been achy and all this stuff. And I thought, it feels like, once I got off my benzos, I thought, it feels like withdrawal. And I looked it up, and yeah, sure enough, I'm in withdrawal from Stemetil. And I didn't realise that this anti-nausea tablet was an antipsychotic as well. They use it as an antipsychotic. What the fuck was that doing to my brain? No wonder I was on my way to dementia. Like, on top of the endone, on top... the shit they were giving me. How I am not dead, it is a fucking miracle, and only because I'm so stubborn and I refuse to be told what to do. Because if I have listened to them, I would have been dead. But they would have just gone, oh, well, that's just what happens. That wouldn't have mattered to them. And you can't expect it to, because you go and see a doctor, he doesn't know you. I mean, my doctor that saw me for 17 years, I mean, he was a nice man, really good man. Like, I said I didn't have respect for his intelligence, but that's because I'm a genius, and I expected him to be as genius as me. He's not, and that's not his fault. Not many people are. I'm an oddbod. But I just love him so much because he is a good man. But they're just humans that did some study. And what did they study? Hitler's drugs. And drugs, that's what they studied. They studied all the different drugs, and that's what they get kept up on, all the new drugs. And who tells them? The drug companies. So that's what they know about drugs. They're drug dealers. So realise what your doctors are. They're drug dealers. Your doctors are your drug dealers. And that's what the government's done, because they've taken our own healing away from us. They've taken it away. They've taken natural healing medicines away because they want to make money out of it. And if you look back to where this all began and how it all started, and the medical world, and I won't say science, medical science, and what doctors believe, the doctor's religion, is two completely different things. Because I'm up with medical science as much as I can be, but I'm not saying I know everything, because I'm far from it, but there's too much to know. But doctors do not know, or they might know, but they can't use, because they're not allowed to, because they have to go by the doctors believe, and that's all they're allowed to do, because they signed a doctors believe religion form. The funny thing is that many of them will say they're in a religion. Or my old doctor wouldn't. He doesn't believe in God, but what does he believe in? What a weird thing. What a weird religion. Strange what they do. And then they just sell drugs. But they're warded. But then drug dealers are, aren't they? It's always something that comes with being a drug dealer. Power. So it's power. And you're not allowed to say anything to a doctor because they're a doctor. Oh, they're a doctor. They're a doctor. They went to university. My daughter's gone to university. She's a IC nurse. She's doing her masters now. She's, whoa, fancy. Real fancy. Yeah, great. She was going to be a rock star. Yeah. Proof's in the pudding, huh? Yep. See, I did a good job. She's got a relationship. She's happy. She's got a job. She does all the right things. She fits into society perfectly. It's great. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to go now and keep my opinions to myself tonight. I'll remember what I need to remember. But doctors are drug dealers, so call them what you need to suck up their ass because you need to, because they're drug dealers and that's how drug dealers are. You know how they are. So if you've ever had any, well, you would have, everyone else, you've been to a doctor. Most people have. If you haven't, you're illegally healing yourself, because we all need medicine. And so you're either using doctors or using illegal medicine. I can't see anyone that's not doing one of those. So, yeah. Anyway, or it might not be illegal where you are. Blessed be. Anyway, I'm going to go, and my living wish, because I am living, and I like to have my wishes when I'm alive, because this is my fairy tale and my life. And I don't believe in all that crap of having just your wishes when you die. I want to have them when I'm alive. And my living wish is, because if you're going to have a wish, like when they come in and they say, what are your wishes and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have a living wish, you got to wish for something that wouldn't be just something that you could just have if you worked hard at it. That's something you can attain. That's not a wish. A wish is something that is pretty much impossible to do, but you wish for it because it could happen. Well, my living wish is to meet Eminem. Yeah, that's my living wish. Bye. See you, love you, bye. Yeah, see you, love you, bye.